1, 2, sound. Yeah, seems fine. Yeah, sound. Hey, Pick and Flow, how are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I was streaming, not posting to X, and now I'm just gonna put the music and let's get back at Alfredo. Today, I was all day on synthwave. Maybe this is too loud, let me know. Maybe lowering a little, like so, maybe 1, 2, sound. Thank you, Pick, for the shout out in the message with the alert, with the notice for the thing about the blur. Thank you so much. Okay, good. I guess we're good to go. Fantastic. Bam. So up dash T. And if I remember well, localhost 8080. This is too bright or what? Is it okay? It's okay. Seems everything's okay. Okay, so so crazy that they can do that. Yes, indeed. I mean, yeah, I think if it's too too blurred, it gets into a point where it's hard. He also said, but yeah, it's like cryptography, I guess, like source and not encryption, I guess. Yeah. No. Okay, so our kitchen sink. What can we do? Let me try and remember all. Let's go into our console. And how are you doing? How have you been? Yeah, so I'll need to generate an API token for today. And I just did, and we need to create a new credential. But if I put it there, then everything is visible. So, bam. That's no token. Okay, got it. Bam. So we have a credential, and we now don't have any servers. And if I remember well, this is to add a new server, but something else. Okay, so deploy Etzner VPS. We are using this token. We are saying first today, I don't know. And CPX11, yeah, so we're keeping it monitoring, yeah, Alfredo. Yeah, we have this in a test, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is not even a password still. Oh, I can't do it still here. Because it's gonna ask me for at least one, yeah. So that's all right. I guess we can tune it afterwards. Let's call a test now. And did we left the readme? We didn't. So do we have a to-dos? Nope, we don't. Okay. So if we're just to check the tests on the Etzner deployment, yeah. And this would do it based on the .env. So I didn't. Yeah, so let me paste the token in .env. Okay, we should be good to go. And yeah, I guess we should be good to go. So we can run the deploy Etzner. Deploy, was it? Nope. Was it Etzner? Nope. Okay, never mind. So docker compose artisan test dash filter Etzner. Is this going to grab it? File does not exist. Huh? This is weird. Ansible playbook output. Why are you searching for something like that? Yeah. So this was something, but yeah. So we want to hit the API and not get some output that we sunk into a file. So if all goes well, yeah. We have the server being created right now. And we didn't perform any assertions, but we should have created the Ansible playbook output. Yeah, so it generated. So this was the cloud config that we are outputting. And that's it. So we should be good to connect into that server. So if I were to refresh, so it didn't create the server. For some reason, I thought it would be doing so. Can't remember. Oh, it created, but it was on the testing. It was on the testing framework, on the testing database. So yeah, never mind. So what we have to do is to now continue the thing. And that's it. So I think we should now get a sense of all that was done. So I'm just gonna go and come into docs and the contributor guide. Yeah. So we gave up on this. So if I were to go into docs, source, content, docs, yeah. Oh, never mind. Just docs. npm run dev. And we started the local documentation. So we might have documentation, but also up and running, all is the same. Local testing VM is not for now. Okay, so our provisioning the server, project walkthrough. Yeah. Putting a little bit softer the sound. It can never be easy. Yeah. Never. It's never easy. I think I'm going to make this a lot simpler, because in development things are changing all the time, right? So based on the outline, we already have the existing server. There is already a root user, or there is no server yet. So server should be provisioned in a cloud provider, and then we add it to the server list. No. So let's make it simpler. So provisioning the server. So let's think in the application. So we have the application areas. Why is this header 3? Project walkthrough. So I guess we can make this H1. Right? So the application has a dashboard. We will see overall some overall stats of servers, applications and spaces, right? Alerts as well. That's it. Then on the credentials, we manage API keys and tokens for provisioning servers, and we are doing just that. So this is our first feature. We are able so this is not done. Yeah, I wanted to find a good way of having the tasks done and then done, so like an overall roadmap. Yeah, this is... I'll probably self-host a book stack for this because it's so much easier. I don't like so much to write markdown in files and so on. It's so painful. Okay, so we can add an API token, API key for Etsy, and we use it, right? So we come to our servers page, and then we have this is where we manage the inventory of our servers. Okay. Tasks, features. Okay, seems reasonable. So we have the new server, meaning in this option adds server information to the database so we can connect to it. But also we have the deploy server. Right, so this is our 3 options, if I remember correctly. Let's check the outline. So there is a server with root user only. No, so that's not an option. I mean, it is, but it's 2 in 1. and there is no server yet. So new server, these options, this option adds information. So this is not, it's add server, add existing server, right? So we might as well fix that already. So on the server resource, on the list servers, so this is going to be the add existing server. Yeah, okay. And we can add an existing server. This will take us to the create server page. And if we want to deploy Adson VPS, we go into this custom page. Okay. And after that happens, new servers, add existing server. This option connects to the provider and deploy the server. Right. So, okay, so let's fix it all, right? Also something that we have to do is that the keys, SSH keys, should they be a credentials? Are those credentials or are those SSH keys? Yeah, I guess they are different, right? So models, a credential. Yeah, we could also have users and password, but let me check something when it, oh no, it's not Jenkins, it was Semaphore CI. Semaphore CI, I really enjoyed how the menu, they had it all together. Nope. Semaphore UI, I'm sorry. So if we check the docs, So it's key store. Is used to store credentials for accessing remote repositories, remote hosts, sudo credentials, and Ansible Vault passwords. Is that the flow byte? What do you mean, Pig? This page is the documentation for Semaphore CI. And are you asking if this is made in Flowbyte by any chance? Which doesn't seem so based on the classes. I thought that was CSS UI. Yeah, it's Ansible UI. Yeah. And I tried to use it before, honestly, for what Alfredo is doing, right? But I found it a little bit confusing. Too much stuff going on, and it's more similar to CI than to dashboard. So, yeah. It seems very, very cool, but I just wasn't able to use. And they do have now not only Ansible, but they seem to allow to have Bash as well. So that can be less restrictive, so we can make our own stuff on that, but I didn't find it so much hackable. So if I would have like to do something hackable today, I would still go to Jenkins. But yeah, I don't want to maintain a running instance of Jenkins, so yeah, I just need 5% of that. I'm happy with GitHub Actions for most of the stuff, but I want to have something hackable, so that's why hackable in the sense of customizable, right? We can adapt to our needs, so that's why. So although this approach key store for multiple, I like that. So I guess we can for sure something similar, right? Not to have like 6 tables for 6 different credentials, right? So yeah, I think they must be even using, they are on a key value store, so are there some migrations? Or was that? Yeah, access key. Yeah, it's so much different. Yeah, it was the key store, right? Key store. Access key. Rekey, yeah, I don't understand this much. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so I would say let's rebuild the credentials so that we can have API token, or user password for a sudoer, right? Or a key, an SSH key pair, Yeah, I think we can do that very well. Let's see. Do we have any icon library installed? Or still not? So maybe hero icons. Yeah, key is perfect. So app, filament, pages, I mean resources, and on the credential resource we'll have the key. Sorry, because I keep forgetting peak. Have you done filament? I guess a little, right? I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry, man. Came to see my channel, yeah. Oh, so I cannot mute YouTube. I have to mute this specific live stream, and yeah, here we go. So in our credentials, we are storing something, right? We are storing something. So let's see what we're trying to store. So I don't want to over engineer, so I'll just do whatever we need for now. So the credentials. So they don't need to have a name and value, right? They might be nullable, right? Then we have the type of credential, which is not nullable. So this can be an SSH key, it could be a deploy key, it could be so many stuff, right? So I guess I'll just call them by the names. So it will be a public key and a private key when it's an SSH key. Public and private key. It will be a value when it's a token. There might be a username, even for the key. There might be a password. Yeah, a little bit, but never enough time to dig deep. Oh, right, yeah. I remember now. You saying. I guess it is constrained, but let's not delete. Let's have it nullable. So the credentials will have a name. We'll have a type, username, password, public key, private key. So let's see how that goes for us. This migrate fresh seed. So we are going to check the credential resource, and let's have some enums, and let's have the credential type. Credential type. So not only it's a backed enum, it also implements filament label, has label, and this can be a user password, user and password, but for now, so it can be an API token, right? And it can be an SSH key, and that's it. That's what we have today, right? So that's what we're going to use now. So here, let's return, match this, it's perfect, let's go on. Hey AI, help me. Okay, so if this guy is self API token, SSH key, yeah, so this could be a lang or something. Yeah, API token first. Yeah, you're laughing because of asking help to AI. And now we're gonna go into credentials. And what about the credentials? Oh yeah, we want to add a new credential, right? And we need to edit this. So let's have a select for the credential type. Fantastic. But it's not going to be like so. We are giving the credential type enum. And that's it. I guess that can be even the first type, and then we might have a section, and this adding will be so an API token. Okay, name and value. So this is the credential name and value. And this is going to be visible when okay, we need to get the state getter from filament, and this is visible when get of the property credential type equals to credential type API token value. Let me I don't think it's enough. It's needed to, yeah, but I don't like so much a big line. I'll make a traditional closure, and yeah, just so I can shorten it up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when it's an API token, whoops, wait. So when we change the credential type, we will provoke a refresh. So API token, and we have a credential. That's it. So we give it a name and a value. So also but then we can also generate one, and also the SSH, the API token, I guess it should be it could be a password with a visible. I think that form field is baked in. Revealable password inputs, exactly. Yeah, password and revealable. Huh? Ah, because it's on a text area. Revealable. Oh, okay. So let's have it on a text input. I guess that's good for the token, it seems, but I'm thinking in terms of the text area, what could it mean? So we paste it like so, and if we want to see it, we can. And the value, and that's it. Null value in column type. Yeah. So API token. Huh? API token. API token. Silly. Refresh. API token and AAA BBB. Create. So null value in column type again. Null value. What do you mean? Null value. No, I like it better like so. What's the database? DB table credentials. Yeah, it's type. I'll also want to check the data types. Yeah. So, what's wrong here? Because API token, blah, 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 and create. Come on, never. Null value. a little bit. Name value is... Oh, never mind. That's because... Yeah. And I wanna remove this. So app service provider. And I want a model and guard. That's it. So if I were to save an API token, bam, bam, done. So we have an API token. Ooh, the audio is echoing. Oh no, on your end only. Okay, nice. It could be me. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So status, private, oh yeah, private key and public key will get out of here. So some passwords, yeah, for now they will live there, but no, private key and public key are not part of the server. They are a relation. Where they are in the, yeah, so there's no server status probably. So yeah, not probably, there is not. So the created table, so for now we just have a public private key, blah blah blah. So username and password. Yeah, we are not connecting to a server with an, yeah, okay. So we need that for the pseudo connections. So yeah. Okay, so let's add username and password. So bam bam. Username and password. That's it. So when we are booting, we are, yeah, let's get from the ground up. So those credentials, we are closing this. So yeah, we not using a factory for now. So I guess I'll just delete it for now. Also this, I'll also delete seeders, database seeder. You just have a user. Let's stick to what we have, or this will grow indefinitely without any need, and I don't want that. So our credentials resource, I'll add a class here, and I'll say the credential type, so it's a forms, right? Forms. and I'll call it API token section, and I'll just public static function get, and I'll get this section. Not here, but here, right? Right. So in this API token section, we are going to return exactly so. Filament forms components section. We are getting this get, and we will get this text input. Columns doesn't need that too, right? So when we are creating, we will use the credential resource get. What is it not get? Oh, something I also want to learn are the shortcuts. Oh, I'm silly, it's API token section. This is myself, so it's API token section get. Yeah. So maybe I can get away with putting it on the side. I want to get the API token section. Also, I want to make an SSH key section. It's a little bit weird to have SSH and don't write it in capitals. So this is visible when the type, I could pass it here, but yeah, it's, I mean, we can do that to have it, whoa. Yeah, I guess we can, which is, let's put this in a closure, which returns I mean, we don't even need it, so the type attribute equals type and let's pass it here and receive it here. And yeah, oh, AI was pretty damn quick realizing it. Yeah, so we are using the type attribute to see that. Oh, but here it made poo-poo. So type attribute. So they want to delete this one, which is the old. Okay. So if all goes well, we should still have same. Bam, bam, create. That's it. So I'll want to create SSH key section. Now I realized. All is the same, but nothing changed. Oh, I forgot I have to reply something. Okay, so API token, SSH key section. So it will be visible when that type equals type. Okay. So on the credential resource, we'll find and add when this is an SSH key section. And when it's an SSH key, we'll have probably the username, right? The password, which is a password revealable. And I guess here it's gonna be a text area. It's not password, it's not, yeah. Okay, so here we're gonna have the private key and the public key. Come on, I wanted to, okay, so refresh. Oh, and still, oh, we are editing, okay. So if I were to make a new one, I guess I don't want to select here. What I want is can we make it a radio? What's no. So it's an API token or it's an SSH key. And if it's an SSH key, it might have a username and password. And which... so username and password are not required, but public key is required if we need the get. We need exactly the same. So, and because we need exactly the same, I'm probably, yeah, what would be a way? Yeah, so I would even say to have a is credential type set to SSH key, and we just get it injected here, so I guess we can't. Huh. Let me check something real quick. item get. What if I have a function here that returns and here we'll return the form schema. Oh no, nothing like that. We will return the array. The form schema is on top. So we don't need this outside if all goes well. Also, we don't need that, but we do need this. And what if I would pass the get? If I were to pass that get, required, yeah, so that makes sense. But did I pass the... Yeah, so we do get it. So we do get if the credential type is set to SSH key. That's true if the type attribute is set to that one. So we can make this a narrow function, ignore that because we get the outside scope, and we're going to say if, that's it. So this, if it's visible if that, and it's required if that, and it's required if that is set. So in a sense, it's cleaner. But now it's running before time. Huh. And how can I know if I should run? Ah, damn. Hey, Claudio, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I got stuck a little bit. Yeah, because I wanted to know. So never mind, let's ignore this get. Oh no. Let's get this to outside. Or I mean, we don't need, but we can get it like so. We can get it like so. And we won't get this. So what we can do is we'll put a first class callable, which is a public static function in this case, and I'm gonna call it this. Is credential type set to SSH key. I'm gonna return a boolean, and this is where I will type in the getter, and I'll return that. type attribute. I'll manage. Okay, because all I wanted to do here was static is credential blah 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 blah. So this callable will be used there. So, and because the type attribute, I mean the credential resource could almost live on the enum. No, I guess not. I guess it could live on the model, which would make more sense. So the credential model would have the type attribute, which is called type, meaning we can have it like so, and then the model credential model as the type attribute. So we don't need it there because we have it set on the class right now. So this is the credential model. Right. The SSH key section doesn't receive this anymore, and the type attribute lives on the model itself. Type attribute, here we go. And same here. Is credential type. I guess this could live on the resource. Yeah. This could live on the resource. And if all goes well, this would be on the credential resource. That's it. And we're cleaning up. So the visible function would also be there. And I think we're good to go. Probably a little bit confusing to who was outside. So the API token still has some issue. Of course it does. Because it's not set to SSH. Is credential type set to? So we're gonna change something here. Value. And here, value. Ah, damn it. No, I lost it again. Ah, okay, so I would say credential resource is credential type set to value. Yeah, no, because then I would have to get the get there. OMG, I got myself into more trouble than I could. I passed a check longer than I can pay. Okay, here it's 3 times and the value is not set. Is credential type set to value? But then the get, it won't be injected unless I set it there. So yeah, I'll just ignore this. Unfortunately, I'll have to ignore. And let's just bite the bullet, right? And just do the hard work. So let's return if our get, if we're getting our credential model, our type attribute equals SSH key value, credential type SSH key value, right? And unfortunately, I'll duplicate it 3 times, which I was trying to avoid, but for now, let's just call it a day. And API token section section will be visible if this is the API token session. That's it. We abstracted the type attribute to outside, so we don't have to be passing it all around. And yeah, I'm not like super enthusiastic with this solution, but I think it's good for now. It's not horrible, right? API SSH key. So API token, boom, boom, boom. It's not visible, it's required when. Doesn't have to be perfect, just need MVP. Yes, that's right, Peak. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more than MVP, but also not perfect. Like, yeah, just MVP, I would be like rocking, and I don't know. Maybe that's not MVP. Yeah, MVP is what we need. But for me, MVP, I don't know why over the years I've been thinking that an MVP is just the bare minimum and it's not very good, right? It does the work, but it's ugly or it doesn't have any UI or something like that, you know? Like without thinking on any detail, like I would just put all fields here and just field whatever I wanted, right? Something like that. So we do want to add API tokens and SSH keys. So I guess that's it. What are we doing? Yeah, so this Ansible output is, I'll just add it to git ignore before I'll just add it unadvertisedly. So deployment, we have the credential type, we added, on the credential resource, we did these 2 sections, list servers, existing server, the credential now as user pass keys, server lost private key, it's unguarded models as well, the credentials table have these extra fields but not without database migrations. Also, the servers have to lose private, public username and password, right? So they might just have a name, a IPv4, a status, and an SSH port on which to connect to, right? And now, does the SSH key or MVP is something pretty in the UI and awful in the backend? Just to sell to the PM. Yeah, of course. That's also most likely to happen many times. Yeah, it does everything. It's so beautiful. Look. But then, yeah. Who knows, right? Okay, so I'm not even... null value in column name. What was this? Ah, the name was also mandatory. Like the name, the right made the name mandatory. So filament, pages, auth. Should the name be mandatory? I'm thinking. What do you think? What's happening here? Oh, got it. It's Forms API SSH. So I guess the credential name would be outside. Right? Always visible, always required. So there's a name, blah, 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 the API token or SSH key. Yeah, don't let DB get 30. So you mean let's have a name? So that I have to write something or I have to generate something, right? Because maybe we don't have a name for the credentials, because what name are we giving to a credentials when we are writing username and password? Yeah, so when it's an API token, we need to identify the token. But when it's an SSH key, do we need that? We need the comment, right? So that's the name. Yeah, Faker could be a good one. I have to put it on the production dependencies and we can use Faker. I do like some alliterations as well. Yeah, maybe the name acts like a comment in that case. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned because is there a case where we don't need a comment? If it's just a username and password. I'm thinking because after shipping a first version, it will be harder to change migrations and so on, right? So maybe the credentials. I feel like the type is more mandatory. And then all these should be nullable for that reason. And we can enforce that through the logic, software logic, right? Business logic. We can enforce a name somewhere else, right? And for now, it's exactly like that. Maybe not just run PHP, artisan migrate, refresh on prod. Yes, of course. So yeah, I think we're good because name and credential type are always mandatory via software. When we don't want it, we'll just drop it from required and we can use it in a nullable state. So I'm gonna migrate fresh seed and we'll start over. And that's it. And something that worries me, I guess we can do it on the next step, but I guess I'm gonna make this multi-tenant so that we can have users on a team. But also I didn't want to waste much time on that, you know, but what I've seen here is user ID, and actually I want it to be team ID. So I guess we'll need that. But okay, let's continue. Something I wanted, because a new credential, we might want to generate a new SSH key, right? We'll have them just generated. So should we click on new credential and then generate? Because maybe we want to create, yeah, we can, but here then, we might want to install existing keys, or we might want to create a new one, right? I'm gonna go ahead with a small git whip. And on the credential resource, on the SSH key section, exactly, username, password, public key. Should we have a generate key? Yeah, I guess we should. So we can like have a placeholder, and we're gonna make a generate key. And this placeholder, I think it's content or view, it's content, and receives an HTML, I think. Wait. So if I were to refresh SSH key, yeah. So column span full, and I guess we can make it here. So the content will be this No, not this, because this is static. So we will run static generate key content. Hey Amuksha, welcome. You're never late. What time is it? Oh, 11, yeah. And actually I'm shifting the live a little bit to sooner because I've been sleeping so late, and I can't continue on that kind of system by routine. So yeah, I started like 9 something today, and I guess I will try to stick at 9 Lisbon time. Doing well. What about you, Emuksha? Hope you're doing good. We've did plenty today, just tuning the credentials screen. And we should be more or less finished soon. We always say that, but then we take much longer. That's engineering life, right? So yeah, because it's void, but it will not be void, we're gonna return a new HTML string. So, new HTML string of HTML, and let's not return HTML equals them. I'll finish it here first, it will be easier. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I think starting slightly earlier is better. Oh, cool, that's good. Yeah, I think for everyone, right? So what I want to do here, I'm gonna say hello world, just to say hello world. Here we go. And if I choose SSH key, hello world. So I think I'm gonna say Eden label. And here we are putting a X filament button and slash filament button, and if all goes well, generate SSH key, and if all goes well, here we go. But why no styles? Does it need color primary? X filament button, I think that's it. I think this is it. What am I doing wrong? It should look like so. Oh, wait. Generate key, Eden label, but even so it's showing. Ah, silly. What? Sometimes don't tell me that. What happens if I delete? Does it disappear? Sometimes I'm having issues with my FS events. Oh, it does disappear. The hard drive fails to recognize changes, and that sometimes it's very weird. Doesn't it even Eden label work? Oh, I guess it's working. It's just the button that it's not showing. Is that right? Yes. Silly me. So hidden label, and now generate key or SSH key. But how come? Oh, never mind. Blade. So much to remember at times. Blade render HTML. That's a blade component, so it needs to pass through blade first. Here we go. So I guess I can call it outlined. Insert required. Yeah, I think outlined is enough to exist. Yeah. So if I were to click here, and if I were to say wire click generate key, potentially I would be calling an action in the page, and now I have to update so as upper text blah blah blah. I'm thinking, how can I easily change the form state? Let me check something. So this is the create page. So if I'm on the create credential page, and if I were to public function generate key, and if I were to dump this, and I would write just for me to know hello, if I were to click, bam, and the form, yeah, so the data is here. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, I'll be able to mutate this by this form fill. Yeah, but I don't want to empty the other stuff. So I'm curious on how would that work. Fill form. How would I guess I should. Yeah, I shouldn't use a placeholder. I think I should use a button, a form field. Because then when it changes the state, I can act on the live, similar to a slug. So probably there's a quicker way to do that, and I'm just I don't know. So let's see, reactive fields on blur. Yeah, so that's exactly what we wanted to do, but in a button. I need to step away for a quick work meeting. Don't do anything cool until I get back. Okay, I'll try to. I'll try to. Can't promise because we have a good meeting if that's possible. Big thank you. After state hydrated. Hey Michał, how are you doing? Sorry, I just saw your message now. So we are creating Alfredo, which is a self-hosting assistant. So it's a dashboard. So we can install applications for self-hosting applications and also applications from Git templates or your repositories. So templates like Next, Tenstack, Astro, and so on, VidPress. So yeah, and your own custom Git applications if you have some. Are you familiar with self-hosting? So I'm guessing, and we are using Filament to do that, which is a framework on top of Laravel and Livewire to build interactive applications focused on panels, but not only. So you can build panels, forms, table builders, paginators, actions, all of that. Yeah, I want to mutate the state because if I will do a get state, let me check something. Let's try this form. Yeah, get state. Let's see what we have. If it's all good, we can probably get away with it. So SSH key, blah, blah, blah. But then if it's not, yeah, exactly. But if we don't, yeah. I guess this is not where we're going. We are going to create a custom field. So, a custom field. We can do one by, yeah, we can do just a field. So components, filament pages, filament forms. Okay. So let's make a new file. Forms, filament forms slash, what was that? credential form generate SSH key dot blade dot php. So we can start from X data entangling. I think we can get away just with Alpine real quick. So like so, we can use a view field and that view is gonna be the name of the file. Yeah, I guess we can filament. No. So filament.forms dot credential form generate SSH key. So let's see what we get. And if all goes well, yeah, we do get an input. So we should now get that button. Where was the button? Oh no, did I delete it? No. Why is this? Okay, so maybe let's do it like so, like so, like so, like so. So we do have the button. The generate key button doesn't exist anymore. So what we can do is and then I need to disable it on the creation. Okay, so what I'm thinking is on click, I would do state equals new date. And that's it. Making it this would be live if this is possible. It should be possible. So every time I would click, oh, not like so, like so. If I were to refresh, so console.log 1 2 3 1 2, and then state equals that. Is that possible? Yeah, we see 1 2. What we can do, let me check something, because we can $wire dot what is it called? livewire.laravel.com. we can set I guess it's, yeah, $set. $set data dot no data dot no, we can use it just like so, and we will set this to foo bar. So if I were to click, funny enough, we are setting it, but unfortunately so silly. Data dot private key. So foobar, nice. And did it go to the backend? It did, but it wouldn't have to be. We will just not live it, and we will disable it so that this state doesn't appear, doesn't get submitted on the form. Okay, so we should be good now, because on the create credential page we can get back our generate key. We will make it a renderless attribute, and here we'll return the creation of a key pair generator. So we can type in the thing, so key pair generator. Do we need to do all of that? Because with that library, what was it called? Beep, beep, boom, boom. PHP seclib. So do we have it like so? Can we do it like so? Will it be better? Because we do have it, Let's check it out. PHP, seclib, crypt. PHP seclib, right? When is this post from? 2018. So in theory, this is what we need. Not that one, but this one. And this would be, yeah, crypt EC. So let's check what are those. 3, come on, bam. So nothing. Silently filing? I guess so. No, nothing like that. I'm so silly. So what we want to do is on click, we want a wire.call. And because we are on this page, we are calling generate key. And then we get some data. And we are console logging that data. That's it. And we will be calling that and the die dump will happen. Bam. And so short private key. I guess that's not a private key, right? I okay. So is this, yeah, openness, this will be better probably as I'm reading. Yeah. So temp deal, auto cleanup, true. So yeah, shutdown function will delete. Yeah, I think, yeah, I could get away with faster, right? So what I would have is get the public field, like save the key in format for files. So let's return a JSON with, yeah. What am I concerned about? Yeah, the private key, public key. Okay. So we would now $wire $set data.private key. Okay, so this data might get a little bit, yeah, public key. So if this goes well, okay, not exactly what I expected, but that's understandable. So let's see. Yeah, and we do have now a generated private key and a public key, but also I wouldn't want Bam, bam, bam. So SSH key, generate, create, bam. We, but if this would be to create with a username. No, that's not the username for the key, that's a password. How silly am I? So yeah, let's keep it simple. Let's keep what we need. SSH key, generate, bam, create. We need to give it a name, blah 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 blah, and it's saved. How can we disable that? Yeah, maybe I should have created just a form action to get it faster. Yeah, okay. So I think we're good. We can put API tokens, blah blah blah, bam. And also we can create SSH keys. I wouldn't want them to be like so how could we hide them? no problem, Muksha. So what I'm trying is, I'm not very excited with having these fields showing, you know? It's just that. A public key. Yeah, so for example, if we create it, so I don't know, my key, something like that, right? If I create it, then when we come on the list, we have them showing. These would have to be hidden. Forgot about that. Only visible on create. That's easy. But then this, maybe. What is this subtitle, description? So I can get the operation equals create a new SSH key, but also traditional closure. If it's not, expand to view the SSH key, probably. Right? And then we can make it collapsible, and collapsed if the operation is edit. Exactly. So it can be closed, and we expand to see it. Just a second, I'll be back. back. I'll have to be going in a while, but I think we achieved something here, which is we can create our credentials right now. We can... Oh, my headphone is starting to be crazy. So we can create a credential with some name, API token, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. We create it. Not sure if we would be able to see it again. Yeah, let's see. It's this again. So docker compose.dev. So yeah, I guess we can see it on the iTerm. No, or 5432. So double plus will be able to open. PG Laravel sale password, Laravel sale password, PG, fantastic. Okay, so if we were to see the credentials, here we are. There they are, encrypted. So that's it. We are now able to, yeah, that's it. And we closed the credentials chapter for now. We need to move on to servers next. Wow, this is, yeah, if it's going to be easy, there would be plenty. So in our docs, source, content, contributor guide. Yeah, we can add API key and we can add SSH keys. We can generate and we can generate on the fly, right? So I think this is cool. So we can test this out, right? If we have a credential, we can even take an existing one, my key, but then we have to, I think it will be on the next time. I wanted to add this key on the server and then, yeah. So we could add this key. And also if it's some kind, when we edit the key, we shouldn't be able to edit the key, right? We should be able to see it. And when we see, we might copy the thing. Yeah. I think this is just fine. Okay, let's finish for today. So credentials, API tokens, and SSH keys. Okay guys, I want to thank you for being there with me. Today we'll close soon. I think this is, gotta get used to it because I would be coding more and more, but yeah, we have to finish 11:30 tops. Yeah, I think that's a good one to do. Okay, so I guess I'll be going. I don't know if someone's watching. If you want to say something before going. Thank you, Amuksha, and you too, everyone watching and who watched after the stream on the video on demand. Yeah, this is eventually this slow down the pace a little bit, but we should close every menu by menu. Like, I don't want to be, we could be all in on the server and the deployment like on the last stream, but then we go after the new shiny object, and then the house would be a mess because we overlooked on the way. So I'm trying to avoid that. So thank you for being there, and I hope to see you really soon. Thank you. Bye bye.